Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Satisfactory. I'm Max and Evolved, and today, we got more processing to do, right? We did a whole lot in this last episode, including getting this nice, super awesome looking train spiral completed, so that now that the whole Blue Crater Lake is just tapped, right? We're gonna take it all, right? But there's something we have to do something with all that stuff, right? We have to process the material, and we're working on our main base over there, right? So I think the natural follow-up to that is to start processing all this material. And I just have to say real quick, thank you all so much. We hit the 1,000 subscriber goal. I thought it was going to take to the end of the year, but you guys absolutely just destroyed it before December even started. So thank you all so much for the support on that. And if you like trains and train spirals like this one right here, then hit that subscribe button. Look at what subscribing does. It for every subscription we add one more spiral somewhere in the world. We add a spiral. I don't know, something like that. So anyway, yeah, let's hop right into this. And of course, the crux of this whole system are these train stations we have here at the main base, right? So we see the train coming in. It will offload all of its contents here. So this train station is kind of responsible for handling all of the input from the Blue Crater Lake, as I've mentioned before, right? And for now, while this thing offloads, it's just going to kind of come down here, and all that stuff's going to go into an awesome sink for now. So what are we going to end up doing with this, right? So I have a couple ideas, right? Number one, most of this stuff is smeltable, so we just need to make bars, right? We need to make ingots. So I think I'm going to just set up a bunch of ingots, or a bunch of smelters over here, to make ingots from all the different materials. And before I do that, though, I kind of wanted to give you a better scale. I've been working a little bit, trying to fill out some of these floors here, and kind of give you a sense of the scale that we're going to go with here. Now, this is just kind of like one, I don't know, one side. We still have, like, the main base itself is going to be over here. I'm going to eventually do, what I want to do is kind of use all this material and any oil products we need over here to make those space elevator parts, so we can finally get out of phase 3. I feel like, we got a couple more things to unlock, but then some really tasty stuff is coming in the next phase 4, like the hover pack, something that I desperately want. So I think the natural next step is to get all this stuff smelted. So how are we going to do that? I think I have a blueprint, though, for this. Yes, this one, perhaps. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to basically give myself, I don't know, about that much room. And now, if you look at this blueprint, once we got it lined up, I made this. I actually refined this blueprint a little bit, right? And the issue I was having with it, it doesn't like to be installed in blueprint mode, though. What are you encroaching on? Oh, this. All right, we'll just get rid of this for now. So the issue I was having with this, specifically related to the way it was fed and the way it output, right? So this was made to be a self-contained kind of 120 input, 120 output module, right? So it means this splitter didn't exist, and the conveyor line just went over this way. And I realized, like, that's not going to help me in this scenario, because I want to feed a line, right? I'm operating under the assumption that every one of these input lines is essentially 480 items per minute, right? Because that's kind of how we set it up. So that's why I'm going to basically just set down 4 sets of all of these, right? And let's see. Right about there. Oh, this is gonna bug me, man. What if I do hit control, right? What if I... Something, man, something. Get that center line, and then we'll just boop it over a little. That's so weird. Oh, I guess those bounding boxes do line up. All right. So this is essentially just all we're going to do right here. I set it up so that power-wise, I put some Mark II power poles, so you literally just need to do this to hook it all up, right? And then you just come through here at the brakes, and you just add in the belts to continue it on, like so. And that's all you gotta do. And then the output, same thing. You gotta connect it up in the middle here. So we're just gonna do that. And all right, so that's done. And what's also really nice about this, the one thing I don't do, I didn't make this kind of item specific or recipe specific, right? So we have to pick the recipe we're gonna do. I'm gonna start with copper, right? And you might be thinking like, oh man, like setting all these recipes is gonna suck, and it kind of does, unless you just copy with Control C. These are close enough that you can just run in between them. I'm just holding W. You know what I mean? You can just run down and set them all. And I thought that was kind of cool. All set to copper. So, one other thing. You'll notice I have power poles come from here. Another huge bonus that the train stations give us is that we can use them to literally transmit power, right? We don't have to use the and I think they're still down here, the power towers, like those ones. We don't have to just have those going around the world necessarily, like those right there, to transmit power. We can use just the train stations themselves. So I think that's super awesome, and I'm super happy with it. And speaking of power, though, our production seems to, you know, it's fairly consistent. There's like one or two generators at any given time that maybe aren't producing when they need to produce, but I think overall this is more than enough. And we don't even have the what's it called, the augmenter, the power augmenter hooked up to the grid yet, and we don't have the geothermal included in there as well, right? So yeah, plenty to do there. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna kind of boop all of these smelting lines in, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, I lied. I also wanted to show how we're going to run everything to this setup here. So you notice that I'm going with kind of a top mount design here, right? And this is I kind of moved some stuff a little bit, threw in the sink for the limestone because we're gonna have to deal with that. But I'm realizing that we actually have an issue here. And it has to do with specifically that stuff. I'll get rid of that too. What I need to take into account, and we're just going to go like that, is I need to make sure that I leave enough room for the other stuff, essentially, right? So we should be able to just do something like that, right? Because everything is going to need to come and go over, because these are spaced out farther than these modules. So we're just going to run everything over, out, over, down into the smelter, out, over, down, and kind of do that over and over and over again. And yeah, so I just want to show you that real quick before I kind of boop all of this stuff in, and we really get to smelting. All right, and we're back. We're back smelting everything. Looks pretty nice, actually. And I also went around and I did a little bit of math, I guess you can call it. A little bit of calculating. And you'll notice over here on the right, the rough count of how much, well, not, let me put it this way. Over here, this shows how many kind of items per minute we're sending to the train station. I think the train itself gets us close to that, right? I think if we go up there, we get really close. But yeah, you can see like Caterium, we only have 300 per minute, right? So what I could do is actually just kind of shut this down, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I could get rid of this. And then effectively, since they do 30 per minute, now that'll be maxed out. And these won't kind of be involved at all, but they'll still be here. So I kind of need to look at that. Copper is kind of the same thing. Like, I don't think Like, I think even here, like, that's only running 50%, right? So I'm going to just cut off just the last 4. And that should give me 360. So just kind of fine-tuning everything as we're getting all the stuff in. And then we have 1 iron, 2 iron. I still need to build the 3rd iron coming out of there, right? So actually, let's do that since we're here. I'm kind of just trying to, not trying to do too much off camera. You know what I mean? I know some people like to watch the method to the madness. I think that's fine. Spacing wise, yeah, it's about half a tile. I think that's about what we're going for. Yeah, let's do that. So what I like to do, you notice I won't get the centering lines on both of them at the same time. So I like to make sure that I'm, centered on the module in front of it and then centered on the one next to it. And that's how I kind of just place them all. All right, so like that's good. Right there. Okay. And then I'm gonna need another sink. So let me just add. So I'll address this too since I'm here, right? It's a little bit. This is gonna get tricky. These turns are gonna make things difficult, I'll say. Only because I need to at some point commit to having the grid go off of this one, because that's going to be the direction where we have the most stuff. So I may just have to like literally actually get rid of most of these. You know what I mean? Like if I get rid of that, but then I start kind of working my way out this way, this might end up having to be the way we go. Just kind of like this. It's not a big deal once it gets started. It does just mean that stuff in the middle is going to get like a little, it's going to be interesting trying to, for example, run a belt like on this. If I'm going straight mode or whatever, like it just gets a little wonky, because it's not going to line up and all that. So you just kind of have to pay attention to it when you're doing that. But that is, I guess, one of the drawbacks to not doing kind of like rectangular designs. You just have to, it's just a little bit of belt intricacy that you just have to figure out. But, I mean, not a huge deal. You see, like, placing this sink kind of is a good example of what you can run into, Okay, so I think we need to hook the power up. And these Mark II power poles, even though they use quick wire, I mean, we have quick wire automated, so it's not that big of a deal. But, it's just another thing that you have to kind of pay attention to. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, man, it's so nice. All right, I guess we'll see. There's only one way to find out if I got them all. We'll do this. All right, cool. And then luckily we're getting like much closer. So I guess we'll continue the trend, huh? Go up and down. This is like so close, man. Let's go this way, actually. Just something like that. You can see we're kind of dealing with the two different grids intersecting, mismatching right in this area too. So yeah, it could get difficult. And oh yeah, we need to actually like put this thing onto the grid power, which is easy enough. I'm just gonna take this out and put it right there, and then hook it up there, and then we'll take this and bring it. Oh God, I guess there, close enough. There we go. And the whole point is just to get tickets have these systems running, keep the train emptying at all times, right? Okay, so this is going to be kind of like the base stock for all of the space elevator stuff, right? And you'll notice down here, I've kind of got some stuff that I'm starting, right? And we're not going to get this stuff set up today. In fact, I just kind of want to talk about what we're doing because we are, I'll talk about what we're going to do here in a second. Let's go through this real quick, right? So phase 3, we have 3 things we need to get. Adaptive control units. What else? Modular engines. And then versatile framework, which is up 1 more level, right? My concept, or the idea that I'm going with here, is that I want these floors here to be dedicated to space elevator parts, right? And I think there's 7, maybe. Can you? No. I know in the codex, right? There's like, how do I get there? Q? Where's the codex? Whatever. I know there's like a couple more objects that we're going to need to build eventually. And my idea is that I'm not looking for a ton per minute because this is just something I want happening like passively in the background. So what I want to do is have like manufacturers and kind of the more, I don't know if we need something other than manufacturers for the other space elevator parts eventually, but those would go down here. Then we'll have an assembler level where any space elevator part that is made in an assembler. So you can see, I think we only have, oh yeah, we have all this stuff, right? So all of this stuff would be created here. And then the areas above it, these 2 floors, and any more we might need above it, are going to kind of produce all of the parts, right? So for example, versatile framework, we need modular frames and steel beams. Well, steel beams, you need just that. You need steel ingots, and this you need steel pipes, reinforced iron plates, right? So the idea is that the materials for these get made in the floor above, and then so it's almost like just the direct ingredients for the space elevator part get made on the same floor as the space elevator part. Hopefully that makes sense. I think it'll make a little bit more sense when I kind of fill out this factory a little bit, but I'm going to admit to you guys right now, it's going to take a little bit for that, because I don't know if you guys know this, but in 2 days, so I'm recording this on Friday, November 29th. In 2 days, on December 1st, Ficsmas starts. And I've never done Ficsmas. I've seen Ficsmas done, so I have an idea of what to expect. But I just watched the teaser trailer from Coffee Stain, and I'm super excited for that. So come December 1st, and I may be streaming on December 1st. So this Sunday, I might try to do a stream where we go and start all the Ficsmas factory stuff, right? So if you're interested, hit that subscribe button, follow on Twitch. I'll be live. I multi-stream on Twitch and YouTube here. So either location, you can catch me streaming, right? But once the event starts, I'm going to kind of pivot into making a Ficsmas factory. And I don't know where that's going to be, right? I imagine somewhere out in the Green Hills, because we have kind of a lot of space out there that we can commandeer for that, right? And of course, things are going to progress. Like as the event goes on, you unlock more and more stuff, which means more and more things are going to become available to do, right? So, yeah, I think maybe like right all out in this area, we can have like just a really cool looking Ficsmas factory setup. So that's kind of the plan in the short term, right? So again, if you're excited for that, let me know down below. Also, let me know any tips and tricks as I'm getting attacked by all of these. My goodness. Hold on. I gotta be a gamer real quick. As I was saying, let me know all your tips and tricks for Ficsmas down below, because like I said, I've never done it. I have an idea, and I think in fact, if you look at copper, no, where was it? It was, oh my gosh. Hold on. I was building something. Is it just like in a constructor? And I saw, no, where was, I don't remember where it was, but I was building something and I saw a, like a copper ornament, right? It's like one of the items there. What is attacking me still? Must have just been a remnant. So anyway, yeah, Ficsmas coming. Let me know all your tips and tricks down in the comments, because I don't want to mess up anything that's like super simple and easy to remember, right? But I'm thinking like right in this area, or maybe in the kind of like the depression back there. But I don't know, this area, I don't know, is this big enough? Is this not big enough? Let me know. But we'll probably make the Ficsmas factory right here. And, you know, we can kind of keep it up for a while. Maybe the whole playthrough, and we'll just kind of see it from our main base once that's all built. So, anyways, guys, I know this is kind of a short update, but I wanted to get something out to you guys before we kind of make the pivot into Ficsmas. And just to also thank you all for smashing through that 1,000 subscriber goal I had. That's not a lot to some people, you know, but to me, that's something that I just never in my wildest dreams thought I would get to. And you know, all the really kind and encouraging comments that are being left, it makes it all worth it, just, you know, having you guys around. So I'm rambling at this point, but I just wanted to thank you guys again for the ride that we've been on, and, you know, to the ride that we still have to go. And yeah, so with all that, we'll see you in the next one.